Hello, this is Pyromaniarules, and as requested by, shit, I don't remember. Well, they wanted me to do the request on Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. Yep. And for anybody who has not heard this album, I mean, you have to hear this. There should not be a reason you can't find this album to listen to. There is no excuse. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. The only way you could get away with it if you're like in some fucking civil war in fucking, I don't know, Africa or something. I don't know. You have to be like in a war zone to not be able to hear this. I mean, how many of us have not seen this everywhere? Hello? Hell, I even have it up here on my wall. Yeah. How awesome is that? I have that on my wall. So that must mean something. I mean, not to mention, I think 43 or 44 million copies sold worldwide, making it the third greatest selling album of all time, and spending 743 weeks on the Billboard Top 200. You take that out, that's a little over 12 years. That's a world record. No other album has come close to that. And as far as anybody else is concerned, I'm pretty sure it never will be beaten, because I've seen the way the music industry is today. They're not making albums that are so popular that they stay on the chart for more than maybe 6 weeks. That's at the most. And they're not making ones today that make it over 10 million copies sold, so yeah, they're not going to do very well as to even trying to break that record. And how does it break all these records and set ones? With incredible music. This album changed basically music in general forever. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, that's a good way. This band before were just, they were just starting to, get their name out there, and people are starting to, man, here's this band, and now, all of a sudden, boom, fame. And one thing that everybody liked about this album was the album cover. A prism with a beam of light going through it, making a rainbow. Really simple, really iconic, and easily remembered, because everybody knows this when you see this. And the songs, oh my god. As a person who listens to a lot of classic rock radio, about the only songs that aren't really played that much are the first part of the first song, Part A, Speak to Me. That's not really played that much. And Any Color You Like, that's the one that I don't even know if I've ever heard that one on the radio. But other than that, all the other songs are played on a regular basis. Why? Because people want to hear them. And that's why people ignore, on one of the most famous songs on this album, Money, it says the word bullshit. They play that on the radio without bleeping it or anything. You know why? because the song is so popular that if they were to bleep it, there would be riots. There would have been, back then there would have been riots. Hell, even today, they probably wouldn't be rioting, but if a radio station bleeped that, they would get 1,000 calls of people bitching at them, being more offended by them bleeping it than by them not. When your song is so freaking famous and well liked that even the parental advisory shit can't even affect it, you've done something that will last in the history of music for the rest of all time. And there's few people who can even accomplish this. Pink Floyd's done it, they say 2 times, but I'd like to say 3 with albums. But this one, it's not my favorite, but of course, as someone who owns just about every single album they've ever made, I know more about their music. I know more than just This in the Wall and Wish You Were Here. But the songs on here, I'm telling you, you will like them. I don't know anybody who really hates Pink Floyd. And I've met a lot of people who hate the music I love. And they still like Pink Floyd. Even people who listen to all the shit that makes me want to fucking shoot people with a gun, they still like Pink Floyd. It's one of those groups where just about everybody likes them. And if you don't, I want to at least know who you are and why. Because you'll be the first. Seriously, you will be the first. And if you want to know songs to look up to get your knowledge into this group, the starter songs are always Money, Time, Brain Damage, Eclipse, and all those, Us and Them, and all those. Those are the few really big ones. But the whole album in itself is a big, epic masterpiece. And one of the greatest things I think this group ever did was... someone told me what this was called, but I forgot already. The album begins and ends with the exact same sound, and that is a heartbeat. And you can look them up performing this live. When you hear that heartbeat, the fucking crowd erupts. And I tell you, I think the only time after this album was made that they toured and didn't perform this at every concert was during the Wall tour, when they only performed The Wall. Other than that, they literally performed this album at every concert. Even when the 2 members, Roger Waters and David Gilmour, went on their own solo stuff touring, they still performed Dark Side of the Moon. You don't see any band hardly performing just an entire album at concerts, except for special things, and you don't see them doing it so many times. That's how powerful this album is. They know people want to hear it, and they give the people what they want. And again, this is the gateway album into Pink Floyd. This has literally been the one for millions and millions of people. They heard this, and then they And then a little bit later they hear Wish You Were Here album and Wall and all that, and that helps me come into the band. But for all the real Pink Floyd fans who listen to more than just those few albums, this was the one that got them started. It got them started on a journey in music. And I know about this journey because I've went through it. I'm so glad I did. And you will. If you want to go through this journey, here's the door. And until next time, this is pyromaniarules saying bye.